Good morning. It was quite a good night actually. We all got sleep, although we'd gone to bed a bit late. We were up a little bit late, which meant we didn't do the whole big walk. We just had to do the first bit and then come back on ourselves, because after a certain time you can't walk else or off lead in case there's others about. So yes, the chickens are doing well this morning. The dogs are just eating their breakfast, and the ducklings all seem to have survived the night, which is good for a first night. I took them up with a hot water bottle before we went out for a walk, and I'm going to go and check on them now. So here they are behind bars. They all seem fairly alright, they're not cold. Got the hot water bottle they're snuggled up with. I'll make them it again shortly. I'm just going to make them some boiled egg, mash it up for them as an extra additive to their little duck chow, and see how they go. These babies are baby Rouens, so that's exactly what I was looking for. My friend wanted some for her pond. She's just got a new property with a pond, so I'm having a lad and a couple of girls, and the rest are going up to her pond to live up there. Well, a very exciting thing happened today, and that's I managed to use my hand blender. And it wasn't a problem at all. It didn't even seem to struggle one bit. So I've used my hand blender to make soup, and I'm really happy about that. I can hear a car, so it's likely my friend's here now. So I shall go and do a bit. It was my friend. We set off, been to Agriloja, picked up some wood, and we have managed to get a few things sorted. So I went to Roady, which was, they quoted me €467. I was like, for 2.5 hours labour and a part, which was like 360 plus 23%. Now if you go on auto.pt, you can get starter motors anything from €40 up. But nevertheless, we've been to R.D.R, the scrapyard, and I can pick one up for €15, but I've got to take one off first to take it in, which is the problem I'd had originally. But never mind, it's all doable. Probably Monday. My friend's here now. I'm just gonna unload her car into mine so I can head home. Did I tell you it was €15 for the starter motor? But I need to take the other one off first. I knew that was the case, and I was thinking that it would have got us around that by going to a garage where they would have been able to get it and sort it. But really, I've already been, if you call it, inconvenienced. Do you know what I mean? We'd gone, we'd had to go back, well, I was treated like an idiot. Today even, picking up the car, they were rude. Even the guy with the white hair was rude, and the woman who was stood offish at the counter. And you think, you know, how on earth do you, like, you get customers, where's the customer service? But hey, you know, so the people at the scrapyard are amazing as usual. The guy said to me, this is my card, you take a picture of the start motor and send it me, and then as soon as it's off, and then I'll make sure it's ready for you when you come and pick it up. That is customer service. That is excellent customer service at R.D.R in Castelo Branco. They're just really lovely there. They're amazing, to be honest. So I'm back. I have to just go and unload the car. The dogs are happy because I'm back. Batty came with, but Elsa and Bear stayed together. Well behaved, brilliant, both waiting when I got back. They're all eating rice and chicken now. I've made chicken necks for them. So they're all enjoying their tea. Ducklings are all happy, and I've just checked on their food and water. They're happy. And because we went to Agriloja, we ended up with 4 more baby ducklings to go with these, so that if anything should happen, because when you get ducklings, they're not sexed. They're not sex linked, so you can't tell when they're a little. Eat your rice, Elsa. Don't try and look at bears. So you can't just tell by looking at them whether they're male or female. So it's like luck of the draw. So they could all be girls. They could all be boys. They could be 50-50 mix. But you never know what you're going to get. And you'll only know as they get older. So we have now 12, no? Yes, we have 12 ducklings that are all snuggled together happily inside, and who knows what's going to happen, bearing in mind most of them are going to end up at my friend's farm, living there, and it's just that she's in between house moves that they're living with me, and it's not easy to get Rouens. So to get Rouens, I'm so lucky that I get the pick. I get the pick of them. So when I'm ready, if there's any paired off or whatever, they will stay here, and then the others will go and live on her farm up there. Just pure free range. We're planning a mid pond house, a floating house for them, which will be quite considerable size, I'd imagine. So we're looking at plans for that and making that happen, so that they've all got somewhere to live when they're up there. Dogs have all seemed to have finished their food. They're now going to have their hour's rest while I empty the car and get things sorted. And I'm really hungry. I've not eaten my lunch, so I'm about to go and grab some soup. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. Bear's walking gets better every day, every walk, and today he's been really good. And when he was barking, it was my fault, because he knows what happens at which time of the day. So because I'd gone out, obviously it upset him, because it threw off his routine, which meant he had to wait for tea, which meant we were late going out for a walk. So that was my fault. That wasn't Bear. That's totally my fault. But yeah, there's him in a big puddle. But he's doing so well. He really is. And I'm relieved that he's making improvements daily. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Elsa is also doing really well. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, Aki. Come. Elsa. Come. Batty. Come, Aki. She's obviously found something really interesting there. Let me see what... Come on. See what it is. So, okay, what is it, Mr. Bear? Hey, what do you think you smell? Huh? So all of them are getting excited at that spot. Come on. So, oh, good boy, Bear. Good boy. These two all turned up in his lap. Wants to play. Come on, not while I've got the lead. Come on, let's get back first. Come on. Out here. So, come on. Away, Aki. So Elsa's doing really well. She's her recall is usually brilliant, but it's just when she sees something and she gets a bit caught up. But she's looking amazing. Her fur's growing back on her ears. She's a lot less. She's struggling a whole lot less as well. So I'm well chuffed for her. And really pleased about her progress for her health. Now she's recovering from being in such a bad condition. We've not had any lesions turn up. We've not had any random bleeds. We've not had any swelling feet. She's a lot more limber. She sits and goes for a wee much more comfortably. And when she poos, she's not really struggling. So green lip muscles, I'm sure it's that's really helped, as well as the leishmaniasis treatment. Well, we're back from our wander. Bear's just having a little lie down outside, as he does after our walk at night, and relaxes a bit before he goes in. Elsa and Batty are inside already. The ducklings seem quiet and snug. They've got plenty of food, water. It's really warm in there because the oven had been on. Unfortunately, it had been on and gone out, so he's not cooked me pizza. I've got warm breadish type thing, so I need to sort that out. I've tried to crank it up a bit, put an extra in. You know, some wood just really does brilliant and some wood just doesn't, even though it's dry. But you see, I think some wood kind of just like sits and smoulders, which is great for throwing out a little bit of heat and keeping warm all day, but it's not good for cooking in the oven. So I need to try and work out which one wood is for which, so I can do a better job of cooking in the oven. Because I really want to avoid gas if I can. What else is going on? The chickens are alright, but I noticed when I went over to just give them a check-in and feed them, and the cheeky things had managed to get into where the food is, so I thought, I'm not feeding you because you just stood there eating out the chicken food bag, so I'm not even going to give you extra, you little puddings. So I was looking, I realised something's been digging on the outside. I thought, okay, I've not seen that this morning, but I realised that I'd gone the other way around this morning. So I think that I'm going to have to be like extra vigilant at night. And Bear didn't make any noise last night, he slept right through. Elsa did as well, and Batty, which is great, but it would be helpful if they'd bark if something is actually here on the land. But if that's not meant to be, then fair enough. But during the day, while we're all out and about, that really is helpful, and Bear does bark then. And then it wakes up Elsa and Batty, who join in. On occasion, Batty jumps in there first. So, you know, it's sorting itself out. It's early days, isn't it? I mean, I've been here just over 2 months. So November to December, December to January, yeah, just over 2 months. So the dogs just getting used to that is not some are right on it, but I'd rather stop them barking and then go from there with the bark training, because at least then we all know what we're shouting about. Shouting's great, but when it's got a purpose other than just for fun, you know, because otherwise if we shout for fun all the time, we'd all have a headache. So that's kind of where we're at there. So pizza's cooking, maybe. Slowly. Slow cooked pizza. It's only been in for about 4 hours so far. For warm bread. And it's not like it was frozen, is it? You know what I mean? But still, I'm sure it'll taste divine when it's ready. Is there anything else that I was thinking of sharing? There was, and I can't remember it, so it mustn't meant to be. We are getting toward losing light for today, though. The power's been great on this all day, and I have used the hand blender, and I have had other things charging, so the chances are it does look a tiny bit on the low side, and I did want to charge my phone. But I will see. I will see what happens, and you know, my phone isn't right down or anything. Everyone seems happy here. There's no great reason for charging my phone. I could always wait till tomorrow and charge it then. So I'm thinking, no, we're all good. So I'm gonna go wait for pizza. It's not like there's any rush. And just settle down, bring the chickens in, bring the chickens in shortly if they've not got themselves to bed, but they've been putting themselves to bed, so it shouldn't be an issue. I reckon within the next 10 minutes or so they'll be putting themselves into bed, and then bring Bear in, so that he's inside with us and see how he goes. Again, like I say, he was inquisitive with ducklings, but he wasn't trying to throw himself through the crate. He was just like looking. Batty just keeps looking and then walking away. Elsa's not really bothered at all, not one bit. So it's going quite well on that front. So from me, Bear, Batty and Elsa, Wednesday and Morticia and the 12 little quackers, we're sending out lots and lots of love to everyone. We do hope that you'll tune in and subscribe to the channel and stay updated with our goings, comings and doings, and we shall have a go at just being until tomorrow. Good night.